So a few days ago, I did this raindrops painting and you'd be surprised how easy they are to do. Today, I'm going to do a tutorial for you and I'm doing it on a green leaf because it feels fancy to do it on a leaf, but you don't have to worry about the background. You need some watercolors and a blank page. I'm creating a light wash of my background color. Now you can choose any color you want. You don't have to do it on a leaf or on green color. You can do it on blue, pink, purple, whatever makes your heart sing. And for the shape too, you can make any shape, a circle, square, heart, flower in the background, whatever you want. I'm doing a leaf and just keep it light, like I'm keeping the leaf really light. And then I'm doing a shadow on one side of the leaf, but at this point you don't have to worry about the background or just learning how to do the drops in this video, and you have to let it completely dry before you go in with your colored pencil. Now I'm gonna draw circles, which are actually our raindrops, with this colored pencil, and I chose green because once we are done with doing the circles, we're gonna use green watercolor on top, and this pencil will blend with that green watercolor. And also let's do some drips so you can learn both of these in one video, and you can do as many raindrops and drips as you like, but I'm doing a few of them here and there, as many as I could fit on this leaf. And the circles don't have to be precise, they don't have to be exact circular. They are raindrops, so they can be oval too. And then I'm taking a dark green, a very saturated green from my palette, and I'm gonna, inside the circle, I'm gonna start putting it inside the circle on one side. And I'm putting the paint, and then I'm gonna use water to create gradient inside the circle and take it towards the other side inside the circle, but I'm gonna leave some space because that will be our highlight. You will see here I put the paint and then I use water to create a gradient with it, and then I'm leaving some space on the other side inside the circle to create that highlight. We're gonna do this for all the drops, and this is our first wash, and we will be doing another wash after this, but for now do this for all the circles. And also for the drips, I'm going to teach you how to do it for the drips too. It's really easy. The drips have the same steps as a circle. All you do is put the paint on one side and leave some space for the highlight on the other side inside the drip, and create a gradient using water. Now this is our first wash, as I said, so this will get lighter as watercolors get lighter as they dry. Take your time in this step, there is no need to rush. Take your time doing the gradients and then let it dry completely. I cannot emphasize this enough. You have to let it dry completely before you start doing the next layer. Now for the next layer, as you can see here, the wash we did in the first layer is really light. Now it's too light, so I'm doing another layer with the same color using the same steps, and this will make our raindrop more dimensional, and you can see the gradient looks better now with the second layer. And we will do this again for all the raindrops and the drips. The steps are the same. You have to start putting paint on the same side as you did in the first layer, use water to create the gradient, and leave some space on the other side for the highlight. And let's do this. Take your time and don't worry too much about the result. It's going to turn out fine. So do the raindrops, do the drips, and then we'll come back to do the third step. At this point, you can see your circles look more like spheres, which is great. They look 3D. And now for the third step, we're going to create shadows for these raindrops. I'm starting outside the circles this time. We did the first two washes inside the circle, but this wash is outside the circle on the opposite side of what we used for the first two washes. And this is just shadow, and this is also in the same way we did the first two washes, but outside the circle. And on the opposite side, you put some paint, use some water, and just blend it you don't have to necessarily create a gradient here. We are creating shadows, so you put some paint and blend it with water to create a shadow. And it's the same thing for the drips as well. You do it outside the drips and use some water to blend it and create a shadow on the opposite side of the drip. And then using a very saturated green, I am sharpening the boundary of all the raindrops and the drips. All steps that I'm doing here are important, so make sure you don't miss any step. Now let it dry completely before we start putting in the highlights. I'm using my gel pen in white color for highlights, and you can use gouache or white acrylic paint for this step too if you don't have a gel pen, but I use my gel pens for highlights in a lot of drawings and paintings, so they come in handy. And I'm gonna use this gel pen. I'm creating an inverted moon inside the raindrops. I'm going along the boundary inside the drips and raindrops where we did the shadows. We did the shadow outside the raindrops, and we're gonna do the highlight inside the circle along the boundary, creating these little inverted moons. And for the raindrops too, just go along the boundary with your gel pen and trace. Basically we're tracing the boundary but inside the raindrop on the side where we did the shadow. And we're doing the same thing for the raindrops, but you can see it looks like a moon when we do it for the raindrops, so it will be easier for you to remember that we're doing an inverted moon inside the raindrops. Just make sure you do it inside, do not do it outside. Okay, just follow all these steps and you'll have beautiful raindrops in no time. They're so easy to do if you follow the steps correctly. And now I'm gonna do these for all of these raindrops and drips, and also for the teeny tiny raindrops that we do. We don't need a lot of details for the smaller raindrops. Just a little swipe of this gel pen will do for the little ones. Now do all these and we'll come back for the next step. Now we're going to do some more highlights, but on the darkest portion where we painted in the first two layers. And this is not tracing the boundary, these are just broken lines along the boundary. That's how I remember them. These are just broken lines and some dots. And same for the drips too. Don't make a solid line here, that will ruin the raindrop. Make broken lines and some dots, and that will create beautiful highlights. And you can see it already started looking like raindrops. So make some broken lines on the darkest portion of the raindrop and along the shape is along the boundary, so it's like a curve. And do it for all the raindrops and all the drips. And this is actually the last step for the raindrops, and then you can add, once you start adding highlights to your paintings, you will get the hang of them. They're actually really simple and they bring it to life. Like, they're so effective in bringing your painting to life. And then I'm gonna use my colored pencil. I need new colored pencils, honestly. These ones are not doing it for me. And then I'm using a dark green to trace the boundary of the leaf, making it more wavy. Making it more wavy makes it look more realistic. And this is just to add details. You don't have to worry about your background in this painting, where the raindrops are or what they're doing on the leaf. But I wanted to make it more fancy, so I'm adding some veins. If you do this, do not add veins on the raindrops, do it behind them as I'm doing it. And then adding some more veins for details in the leaf. But the raindrops are done, so you can just stop here if you want, but you can add more details if you want. Also, you can do a wash of any other color outside the leaf if you want to make your painting more detailed and fancy. But our raindrops are done and they look so beautiful. This is what they look like up close, and I think we did a great job, and I'm sure you did a great job doing this too if you were following along. And that's it. I will see you next time.